bis 3. Klasse, deswegen kann ich Bibi Blocksberg ganz gut, aber nicht künstliche Intelligenz Wörter, okay?
Okay,
Ja,
gut.
also gut hier zu sein. Ich arbeite bei Verint. Es ist eine Global Customer Engagement Company und wir haben Produkte für Contact Centers, alles Mögliche von Call Recording, Bots, Chatbots, NPS and CSAT surveys, speech analytics, text analytics, workforce management, quality evaluations, und wir machen es, es ist uns sehr wichtig, ganz viele Automation herzustellen, aber nicht anstatt die Leute, die das Arbeit machen, sondern to complement the work that is being done. Und dann ist es immer so eine Kombination von Humans and Technology. Und heute wollte ich ein bisschen reden über Analytics. Ich bin schon 20 Jahre mit Analytics, war auch bei eBay 7 Jahren und jetzt bei Verint ungefähr 7 Jahren und habe ganz viel mit Daten zu tun. Und ich wollte wirklich über dieses neue Produkt reden heute und ein bisschen zeigen. Und ich hatte sehr gerne, dass Fragen kommen und wir können reden und hoffentlich kann ich alles beantworten. Okay, dann fangen wir an. Ja, also darüber haben wir geredet. Notice of Disclaimer, this is Verint proprietary information. Okay, so Verint has a mission to deliver outcomes. Software costs a lot of money, and we have a lot of different products in the market. And what we want is to show the outcome of using the bots as quickly as possible. When we're thinking about traditional business analytics tools, BI tools, Tableau, Sisense, ClickView, Power BI, these are all excellent tools, and we use them sometimes, but they are targeted for specific personas in organizations. You have to have knowledge in data and knowledge in SQL queries, and you have to have teams in place to build the relevant data infrastructure so that you could build a report in Tableau or Power BI. What we're trying to do is automate that process behind the scenes so that basically analytics is consumed by anyone who needs it in the organization, and you don't have to have all that prior knowledge and skill set and Aufbildung, denke ich, sagt man Deutsch, so that you could actually leverage dashboards and insights about your data. So it's targeted for all customer experience users. We have an open approach to data because we know that different brands use all sorts of technology. It's okay to use a chatbot from a different company and a CRM from a different company and all sorts of solutions that are very specific, but you still need to bring all of that data together so that you can see one comprehensive picture of what is going on in your contact center and your support center. So the open approach to data and AI basically means, on the one hand, you can bring in data from outside of Verint, and on the other hand, we're continuously tuning some of our AI so that we are always able to process new types of data. And that is something that we have as a goal, that we're never going to limit our customers and users to something very specific. So that's the open approach to data. And as I mentioned before, we're not here to replace the workforce. It's not. It's a combination. It's a combination between the work that we have to do, employees, but doing it maybe faster than we used to because we're putting these tools in place. Over the years, when I started looking at the problems that we are trying to solve today, I've come up with these sort of a swim lane where the data insights product, which I'm going to speak about today, is designed for business users. If you are the decision maker, you don't want to wait until you tell the BI team to start building a data set, then run a report. Then they have to export the report into a PowerPoint. Then they send it to you. By the time you see the data, it could be irrelevant because the stuff changes so fast. So we want this tool to be designed for business users so that if you have to make a decision, you can do it really quickly. The data refreshes quickly, you have a comprehensive view of your data, and you can make quick decisions. There's automation and AI-driven insights. I know that there is a lot of debate and a lot of name dropping, especially since I'm coming from the technology world, around generative AI, ChatGPT, all that good stuff. Well, it's a means to an end. We need to be very careful when we're talking about AI and data, because when you need to make a decision that's relevant only for your team or your organization, you don't want any hallucination happening on your data. You want to be very, very precise and accountable for the pieces of data that you're using to make decisions. So we do have AI in the product, but it's not generative AI. It's AI that is designed to make decisions, to identify commonalities in the data, to identify outliers, anything that stands out, that is out of the ordinary, to identify root causes, okay? Why certain things behave a certain way. But it's not going to tell you about the stock market tomorrow. It's going to be responsible for the data that exists and having like a lot more power to sift through a lot of data and give you something that you can work with. You don't have to have prior knowledge or training, because one of the things we've introduced is a Google-like interface. So you'd be asking the system questions, and I will show you those questions. You don't need to know how to build database queries. It's reducing blind spots because with traditional tools, you need to know what you're asking for. You need to know what reports you want to get generated. And one of the things that we have in data insights is this AI that I mentioned, which is designed to show you more than what you asked for. So if you only operate in a specific area, let's say you're only looking at a campaign that your brand has launched and customers are calling and asking about that campaign, and you have a tunnel vision just for those interactions that have to do with a campaign, maybe you don't know that in those conversations, they're actually talking about a competitor campaign. And in that competitor campaign, the prices are better. You need to have the broader picture. So it's reducing the blind spots because the AI will surface insights from the data that you didn't necessarily know you were looking for. It's an elevated self-experience because if you're the decision maker or the business manager, you see the data, you understand what's happening, and you can take action. It doesn't have to go through a huge amount of, as I said, like the building the report and extracting it and putting it in a PowerPoint and sharing it with leadership. You can just see it in a dashboard and make a decision. The data silos are removed because, as I said earlier, if you are using whatever tools you're using, you can blend them, you can blend the data in a centralized data hub. And that centralized data hub is what it's feeding the dashboards and data insights. So you are seeing data from across all the products that you have, and you don't have to go and work in a silo. And it's reducing the time from insights to action because everything is very quickly refreshed and you can make decisions. I've investigated a little bit the workflows that exist today for actually managing data in organizations, and kind of divided them into micro workflows. So it's just a little bit of an iteration of what I've just said. So the first micro workflow is that needs to be manually building the dashboards and reports for the business. You have to have teams in place. They all have to be skilled. They need to know how to work, the heavy databases, how to do the joins, the relationships. You need that workforce to produce valuable insights today. You also need data science teams today to uncover insights. A report can't just surface everything all at once. So they would need to go and run statistical modeling. They would need to run outlier detection on their own. They need to implement all sorts of technologies to allow you to understand more than what there is from the data. Including anomalies. If there is something that you need to take care of in your organization, missing coaching for contact center agents. Surveys are coming back and the NPS score is going down. Customers are not satisfied because they are waiting for long hours. You need to uncover those insights. And to do that today with traditional tools requires a lot of manual labor. If there is anything new that those teams discover, you will need to go through the entire workflow again to build the right data model, to build the right relationships in the data so that you can build a report. So this is what's happening today. Some make it more efficient, some make it less efficient, but this is more or less how analytics is being managed in organizations today. And we're trying to resolve that with data insights. There's two versions of data insights. There is a free version that is offered to all of Verint's customers in the cloud, which has a lot of dashboards available that we already thought about what would be interesting, and we roll those dashboards out to our customers. And there's an enterprise version that has all the AI capabilities, the ability to search and have a conversation with data. So I'm going to show a little bit of that right now. In order to build a dashboard in Data Insights, the only thing we need to do is click the create a new dashboard and type in a search. So here for workforce management, I typed in a search to show me the service levels by organization by CUNY. Okay, could be anything else that I want to report on. I typed in the search box, I typed the question, and I got back a widget showing me that analytics. I could change the way the analytics is presented. I could change how the widget is presenting the data with different visualizations. And if I want to keep this analysis and track it over time, I use this little pin here and pin it to a dashboard, either an existing dashboard or a new dashboard that I'm building for myself to track. That's it. That's how difficult it is to create a new dashboard or a new piece of analytics with data insights, because we've already modeled and joined all of the data beforehand. Our Verint engineering team does that. And so you don't have to go through all of that with your teams. It's really available to you right away. Here's another example of shrinkage, shrinkage by organization this month. You get a response, you can change how this is layered, and you can pin it to a dashboard. Another example of a search is average handle time. We all want to know what the average handle time is, right, for interactions, digital or voice. We want to make sure that our average handle time is as low as it could be. So there's a lot of metrics around average handle time and what it could be compared to. So here it's average handle time compared to forecasted handle time. An example from quality management. We want to look at agents with the highest evaluation score or agent with the lowest evaluation score. And we want to make a correlation between the evaluation score and the handle time, or the evaluation score and the post-call survey response. We can do that. Employees with sentiment score. This is all products that Verint is offering, but you could use your own and bring it over. So we can see the distribution of employees with highest sentiment score. Categories. In speech analytics and in text analytics, we want to know what happened during the interactions. What did customers call for? Maybe there is more than one topic in a conversation that came up. We want to know what those topics are. So we want to look at, the top categories by volumes, and you can see that. So just out of the box today, there's a lot of dashboards that our customers will be getting if they leverage the product. In WFM, we have a set of dashboards, and every month or so, new dashboards are coming out, because the WFM team and the quality management team and the speech analytics team, they all want to push more and more dashboards so that users can have more visibility into their analytics, into their data. Particularly for WFM, we have a use case with shrinkage, which shrinkage is very unique to different organizations. Every organization classifies the activities relevant for shrinkage in a different way. So we have this automation in place where we are capturing, professional services at Verint would be capturing the unique shrinkage definitions from each customer and loading it into the model, so that when you see the dashboards, it's really customized to your organization. And we had customers telling us that this saved them 35 weekly hours of data massaging. And this was a US customer, so it translates to $130,000 that is continuously saved. And it doesn't mean this person is now going home. It means they have time to do more. And that was the point that I was trying to make. So these dashboards save a tremendous amount of time to customers. Here are some examples of dashboards that we already have. For quality management, we have a dashboard called Total Quality. Total Quality is a combination between quality management, automated quality management, where the evaluations are generated by AI. We have desktop process analytics, DPA, coaching data. So what we're able to do with the dashboards and this new infrastructure is bring all the product data together and produce something that's holistic. So that's one example. Another example is a set of interaction analytics dashboards. So speech analytics, text analytics, and the combination of them. And so all in all, we have an abundance of out-of-the-box dashboards that all of our cloud customers can get for free. The customers are getting the dashboards based on the products that they purchase from Verint and additional data that they're bringing in. And there's a lot of dashboards already available. An example about third-party data. So let's imagine for a second that you're using a CRM and there's attributes in that CRM that you want to blend with interaction data, with speech data or recorded data. We can bring that over, and what this dashboard shows as an example for how we can take loyalty programs, customer tenure, location, shift, gender, and slice and dice it by volume of interaction or sentiment score. Or if you have a question and you want to know what is the demographic that is calling my contact center for a specific campaign. How much time are these users that are calling my customer already? Are they relatively new or are they older customers? Which shifts across the globe with all my BPOs or my contact centers, which shifts have most of the traction, most of the calls, and what time of day is it peaking to with high volume? You can ask all these questions and get answers in the form of a visual that you can understand. What we also do is we track usage. So Pendo is a product that Verint is using to track what is being used in terms of dashboards and the various feature functions, so that if you buy software from Verint, our customer success managers would speak to you and say, you are not using certain functionality which you bought from Verint. You can use it. So we will have that conversation with you to make sure that you understand everything that you can use and use it the right way. So just to summarize the differences between our Essentials version, the free version, and the Enterprise version, for organizations who buy the Enterprise version, they'll be able to build their own dashboards, leverage the existing dashboards that we make available to them. You could share dashboards, control who sees the dashboards. It's all based on access controls, and one person cannot see data from another organization if they're not entitled to see that data. You could use the AI to analyze further and get more information. You can set alerts and get notified when something is peaking or something is low. All of that functionality exists in our Enterprise version. And yeah, I think this is it for me. I'm on time, so maybe we have some time for questions.
Oh,